Ask me the hard-hitting questions.
This week on 60 Minutes, we reported on the WNBA, and we interviewed Caitlin Clark.
This week on 60 Minutes, the spotlight was on the WNBA and its rising superstar Caitlin Clark. After weeks of speculation, Clark finally addressed rumors about her future, including a surprising European deal. Now playing for the Indiana Fever, she has sparked a massive surge in fan interest, boosting both TV ratings and arena attendance.
Now playing for the Indiana Fever, she's ushered in a new wave of WNBA fans. TV ratings and attendance have skyrocketed.
Finds Clark from the logo. You bet!
You know how crazy these crowds get, though, when they see that logo 3.
Yeah, they go crazy.
Feels good to hit those?
Occasionally. It's not too bad.
So how,
I don't mind it.
seriously though, so you got the ball in your hand.
Yeah.
You're crossing midcourt. What's the decision making? Pass, pull up, how does that work?
Clark's deep-range shooting has become her signature. Fans erupt every time she pulls up from near the logo. When asked about her decision-making, she explains how she reads the defense, choosing whether to pass or take the shot in a split second.
That's an absolute dime.
And then after that, usually somebody picks me up, but if not, you just gotta launch it and hope for the best, you know? Hope it goes in, you let it fly. That's what people love. So you gotta give them what they want.
Clark broke down the mechanics and biomechanics behind that signature shot.
There we go, okay.
It's the same motion basically, right? But you're just using more legs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like I'm not, people probably wouldn't consider me very big to play in the WNBA. Like I'm not quite 6 foot, like not the strongest. So I think just, you know, having good balance is definitely the most important thing. I think a lot of really good shooters would probably tell you the same thing. But yeah, using your legs, like it can't be all upper body, it's gotta be your legs, so.
After intense rumors, Clark took to Instagram to share her decision about the upcoming season. Following the Fever's playoff loss, fans were left wondering, would she stay or take her talents elsewhere?
Caitlin Clark last night finished up one of the most remarkable years of basketball playing up in quite some time. Because we could talk about her WNBA season, and we will, but her final season at Iowa was something to behold, and she went right from that into the WNBA season. I mean, right away. As soon as her college season ended, just days later, she was drafted by the Indiana Fever. And I just remember being at the Combine in early March. That was the talk of the town. In addition to what we were seeing out of the Pacers and the Combine being there, it's like Caitlin Clark's coming here, the Big Ten.
Clark describes her mindset on the court. If a defender doesn't step up, she's ready to launch from deep. Her fearless shooting style is exactly what fans love.
Two defenders on the handoff go with Caitlin Clark. That's why Aaliyah Boston can make that spin move and attack the basket. So the impact of Caitlin and Kelsey Mitchell on the floor opens things up.
I miss doing women's sports with you. We don't get to do it as often as we used to. So here's the thing. Caitlin Clark is going to be fine. Yeah. Okay, there's 2 things that stand out to me. She just played this team, right? And so she understands the athleticism, the footwork, the speed of Dejanay Carrington. And she's just in her 4th WNBA game as a professional athlete. Even as a rookie, she's been guarded by the best players so far. She's still drawing double teams, and I thought Indiana did a better job of playing fast. I thought in her first few games, too much pounding the rock. This is not Iowa Part B varsity version. This is WNBA basketball. She's moving faster. Her teammates are doing a better job of finding her. She's getting looks off the move where she doesn't have to work as hard. And so it's only up from here. This was a great sign. Her most efficient night, turnovers were down.
Let me just say this too, because we're talking about the Indiana Fever and we have the Pacers that are playing in the Eastern Conference, right?
Breaking down her shooting mechanics, Clark emphasizes balance and leg power. Despite not being the biggest or strongest player, she relies on technique and fundamentals to generate range and consistency.
ESPN are showing the game last night in which the Fever got swept by the Connecticut Sun last night. They showed a montage of her year. And they showed a montage of her year when she passed Pistol Pete Maravich. She owns the record for most points scored, men's and women's, Division I. And she set every record you possibly can set for Iowa, for women's basketball.
Clark reflected emotionally on her rookie season, expressing gratitude. Her journey, from college dominance to immediate WNBA impact, has been nothing short of remarkable.
Super excited to be here. I've never had to give an opening statement before, so this is a first for me in a large crowd. But like I said, I'm super happy to be here. Thank you to the Fever, the Pacers. This is a dream come true. Like, these are the moments you dream of. Obviously, Tamika Catchings is here. Like, that's pretty incredible. Somebody I grew up idolizing.
Yes.
But like I said, after I got drafted, like, I can't think of a better place for myself to start my career. A place that loves basketball, supports women's basketball, and an organization that really does things the right way, has championship pedigree. So I'm just very thankful that they have a belief in me. And obviously my parents are here today. My two brothers aren't here. My little brother had to go back to school. He actually missed his flight out of New York City after the draft. So I think he did it on purpose, but thankful for them, and, you know, couldn't be happier to be here. So thank all of you for coming, and I can't wait to get started.
After an incredible final season at University of Iowa, Clark transitioned almost instantly into the WNBA, where she was drafted first overall by Indiana.
Caitlin, Greg Doyle, Indy Star. Real quick, let me do this.
You like that?
I like that you're here. I like that you're here.
I do that at my family after every game, so.
Okay, well, let's start doing it to me and we'll get along just fine. So, question is, you didn't have to turn pro. I kind of thought you would no matter what, but how much did Indiana have the number one overall pick? Because of the things you've said and the driving distance to Iowa, just everything. I'm just wondering what role that might have played.
Yeah, it definitely played a huge role, and I actually played at the exact same time as the draft lottery on the night it happened. I'm not sure exactly who we were playing, but I was hoping that Indiana got the first pick. It would have made my life a lot better. So when I saw that, I was pretty excited. And, you know, obviously that's not every single reason of, you know, why I wanted to leave.
Her presence transformed the Fever. Defenses double-team her constantly, opening opportunities for teammates and improving overall team performance.
Caitlin Clark's Rookie of the Year odds have become so high that there is currently only one sports book that will even allow you to vote on Rookie of the Year. MGM Bet is currently the only platform that you can vote on Rookie of the Year, and they have Caitlin Clark's odds at negative 10,000. And to put the icing on the cake, just last night, Caitlin Clark made her 86th three-point field goal of the season, which set a new record for three-pointers made by a rookie in WNBA history. The previous record was set by Ryan Howard in 2022.
Even as a rookie, Clark faced elite defenders. Adjusting to the speed and physicality of the league, she quickly improved her efficiency and reduced turnovers.
WNBA record for threes in a season is currently held by Sabrina, and that number is 128 threes. So with the Fever having 9 more regular season games left, and I'm not sure if this is just like a regular season record or includes playoffs, but Caitlin Clark would have to average a little over 4 three-pointers in a game in order to break this record. It's doable, and especially if their team goes into the playoffs. But not only with this three-point record, with her assist record, with her triple-double record, and just the impact that Caitlin Clark has had on the WNBA and on the Fever team this season, there has still been some debate on who will become Rookie of the Year. We talked about Angel Reese a couple videos ago and how she is holding her own on the rebounding side, and she is shattering records, both WNBA and NBA records, with the amount of rebounds that she grabs per game. But if you look at these two players in their totality, it really is a no-brainer as who deserves Rookie of the Year this season.
Her rookie season redefined expectations. Clark broke scoring records, including surpassing Pete Maravich as the all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I basketball.
Clark, 24, 10, and 10, her second career triple-double. What stood out to you about the way she got this triple-double in your eyes?
For me, what I liked from Clark and quite honestly the Indiana Fever team is that even though they entered halftime with 11 turnovers, they were able to get that composure back, and they actually turned over Los Angeles, the Sparks, more turnovers than they had. So I love the composure that we're seeing. I love that this is a team that's still growing, and I think they're starting to figure out who their players are, who their go-to players are. Even when you have an Odyssey Sims that drops 20 points for a Sparks team that, has been struggling this season, Indiana found a way to win. They found their composure throughout this game, and I think that bodes well for them, knowing that they already punched their ticket to the playoffs.
In a heartfelt post, Clark confirmed she would return for another season. She expressed gratitude and excitement, calling it just the beginning of her journey.
Anyone that was listening to the broadcast, you heard that this backcourt has been the hottest thing in the WNBA since the Olympic break. And I do think that time together with this crew, that trio, as you mentioned, has been critical. We heard so many veterans, retired players, active players say that Caitlin Clark and likely the Indiana Fever were gonna need time. It wasn't gonna be instantaneous like your, instant coffee that you drink in the morning. No, we want this to be a nice Cuban coffee with a nice punch in there. And I think that's what we're seeing. It's not that this is not a talented team. You've got two back-to-back #1.
At her introductory press conference, Clark described joining Indiana as a dream come true. She also acknowledged her admiration for legend Tamika Catchings.
Ryan Ruocco said, Caitlin Clark is possessed. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. At times, she was unconscious. For me, watching that game, it's one of those games where you can't even be mad. Like, you can't even be mad at Caitlin Clark. You can't hate on her. You can't say anything negative about the way she performed. There's not one thing you could take away from that and be like, oh, she was this, or oh, she didn't do that. She checked every single box. That's why Kim Mulkey hugged her so aggressively at the end of the game, because it's like, dang, you did great. I can't stand it, but I love you for it. Like, Kim Mulkey even gave her an aggressive hug when the game is over. That's how you know it was real. You know how you dap somebody up just aggressively because you're like, yeah, that was great. I can't stand you for it, but I can't say anything bad about it. She was poised. She was under control. She manipulated the defense left and right. She got to her spot.
Clark revealed she was hoping Indiana would secure the #1 pick in the draft. The opportunity to join the Fever played a major role in her decision to go pro.
Guys, I think the thing is that what LSU got themselves into trouble is they let Caitlin Clark get to her spots early. You know she likes to drive the ball to the left, and when she drives to the left, she's looking to pull up. I don't know, Andrea, look, you follow the women's game. Why on earth would Kim Mulkey instruct her guys to go under the screen and not fight over the top? I'm not giving Caitlin Clark that kind of space. What she did was confirm what we already knew. There's a reason why she's the all-time leading scorer. There's a reason why she's top 3 in assists.
Her stats speak volumes: 19 points, 8.4 assists, and 6 rebounds per game. She set a rookie assist record with 337 and recorded multiple triple-doubles, proving her all-around brilliance.
No question, the race for Rookie of the Year is over. After what they did to the Sky, after they won their 4th straight, after they're over 500, they were just 500 the other day for the first time in 2 years when they were 2-2. They doing their thing. And Caitlin Clark, last 12 games, 23.4 points or 47% shooting, second leading scorer in the entire WNBA behind the monster that is Asia Wilson, who's going to be league MVP and deserves it, by the way. The reigning 2-time champion, who probably is going to 3-peat in my estimation. She is just something special. Best player in the world as far as I'm concerned, okay?
Clark also broke the rookie record for three-pointers in a season, surpassing Ryan Howard. She helped lead Indiana back to the playoffs for the first time in years.
NBA players shouldn't be thankful to Michael Jordan because guess what? There were great players that were in the sport before they ever arrived, who did everything they could to make the NBA what it was. But it was when those brothers arrived that it took on an extra dimension and elevated to another level. I'm just looking at some of the numbers here. When we talk about league attendance, the Indiana Fever, all right, with Caitlin Clark, led the league in attendance both home and on the road. Fever averaged 17,035 at home, 15,000 on the road. Attendance for the entire league up nearly 50% this year, according to data from across the timeline. And Indiana leads all teams with an average attendance of, like I said, of 17,035. Merchandise sales are up 450%. I'm gonna repeat that. Merchandise sales are up 450% for the WNBA according to Fanatics. So take those things into consideration. Yes, we're looking at the unanimous choice for AP Rookie of the Year, a first-team all WNBA, okay? 4th in the league in MVP voting, and we see all of these things. Certainly she's going to be a great player.
Her impact extended beyond stats. Attendance surged, merchandise sales skyrocketed, and the WNBA experienced a major boost in popularity thanks to her presence.
Secret number 2, Kennedy Carter. This one has received more headlines and attention than maybe any other play in the entire league this year.
Okay.
All right. There's been plenty of dissecting about their relationship. Certainly we talked about it in this show that Kennedy Carter has in the past. What a great year for her, by the way. Probably could get comeback player of the year. That she has in the past made some questionable decisions when it comes to keeping her cool. In fact, I'm pretty sure she leads the league in flagrants, or she did at some point. In fact, she's got 4 flagrant fouls this year alone. She's a bit of a chippy player.
Okay.
I think we can all agree this was not a basketball play. Caitlin Clark said so herself. That wasn't a basketball play. Looked like a lot of frustration, looked a bit retaliatory based on a play that had happened earlier where Kennedy felt like Caitlin was hit her and fouled her hard as well. We've already agreed that that one was not a basketball play.
Clark's dominance sparked debates over Rookie of the Year, especially against Angel Reese. Despite competition, Clark's influence, consistency, and record-breaking performances made her the clear favorite. Her rookie season didn't just meet expectations, it completely changed the future of the WNBA.